Polly from Horacio. Welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. Today I have a really special episode for you. If you're like me, you love to dream big dreams, but it's really easy to get nervous about executing on your dreams. It's also easy to get stuck in the fear of failure and the fear of discouragement and the fear of judgment. And so today I want to creatively fan your flame of your dream by sharing with you some really special stories. So a few months ago, I hosted a brunch and I invited people who have pursued their dreams and I asked them to come speak at this brunch. And we had a room full of, it was hundreds of people at this event. It was on Zoom, and we had a ton of people in the comments asking questions and, getting their questions answered specifically around the dream to print a paper product. And so if that's the dream that you have, this is going to be such a powerful conversation for you to witness. And so this day was just so sweet and spectacular. It was a lot of look at what God has done, and also look at what happens when you take a step out of your comfort zone and pursue your thing. And so I just wanted you to have the opportunity to be in that room and see what was said, because it really was so special. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to play that tape for you and you can see it. It might be a little bit weird because there were so many people in the chat and the speakers were speaking to each person. And a lot of people were asking questions about Print School, about the program. And so just know that that is available to you as well. If you want to join Print School or if you want to apply for Print School, you're more than welcome to. But I really want to make sure you know about this special invitation before we roll the tape. I'm hosting a 5-day challenge starting on February 10th. February 10th, mark your calendar, and it's going to be on Facebook. It's in a private Facebook group, and you have to register in order to have access to it. So you go to HoracioPrinting.com/print and go ahead and do that. Register on your phone, HoracioPrinting.com/print. The link is below as well, and you can sign up. It's free, and it's going to be 5 days of training, and it's really special. So this that you're about to watch, is what we did at the end of that on the 6th day, actually. So you can see some of the alumni taking questions and some of the people that have been through the program. Because I know if you're like me, I'd want to know, well, I know it worked for Polly, but would it work for me? And so if that's the question you're really asking and wanting to know, watch these videos, hear these stories. They really are so special. I'm so proud of each person. And so I hope that this conversation blesses you. Comment below and tell me which of the stories was your favorite. And I will see you guys right back here next week for another episode of the Dream Printing Podcast. I want to welcome you guys to meet Bethany Kimsey. Bethany, you can feel free to unmute yourself. I've had her on the Dream Printing Podcast. She was one of our early Print School students. She is so incredibly inspiring. She is the creator of the Warrior Mama Prayer Journal. And we talked a lot, Bethany, this week about ideation, design, marketing, how to go from the idea in the head to in your hands and then to sell it. And I was telling them that you chose to do pre-orders on your website. So they know a little bit about you, those that were attending live. But I'd love for you just to introduce yourself and tell us more about the heart behind your mission and your products.
Sure. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Y'all, Polly is going to help you and help you navigate through this. And honestly, for me, even gave me the boldness and the confidence to say, oh, I can do this. I can put this together and I can make this work. I've never done anything like this. I'm a mom. That's what I said as I was coming in. I'm like, I'm a mom and I have no experience. I'm a mom of 8, and my ministry is helping a mother connect the truths of the gospel to her everyday life. So, I have a podcast and I have other things that I have done in life with that, but actually putting and creating a book felt very weighty for me. But for me personally, I also knew I did not want to go the traditional route. That had been made clear And so I was looking for how else could I do this where it looked the way in my head I knew this should look from. Yeah. So I found Print School. And it was for me a like massive learning curve, but one where you have somebody holding your hand and helping you walk every step of it out. And so you don't feel, I've done things before where I'm like, well, I guess I just am supposed to figure it out at this point. And you don't feel that way. I don't, and I think that's one of the gifts that Polly and her team bring to it is that you don't feel like, oh, and now we just kind of gave you some stuff. And so you just go figure it out. I knew I wanted the experience of the prayer journal for a woman to feel very tactile. Like I knew she needed to sit down with it. She needed to be able to, all the waves of anxiety. Like I wanted her to feel as she sat with it, like, huh, I can just relax and rest in this moment. So that meant that I wanted my paper to feel a certain way. I wanted my cover to look a certain way. I wanted it to be just a clean, minimal styling. And I think we achieved that. And it's been fun to watch it go out into the world and for so many women to enjoy it.
What was it like some of the first times seeing it in people's hands and people ordering it, especially people ordering it who you didn't know?
It was amazing, but it was humbling in a way of just going, oh my goodness. It is. And what I love now is so my journal's been out since for a year. And so women, it's a year's journey. So it's designed to be 12 months. And so women now, I'm having all these DMs and emails and stuff coming back in of, let me tell you what has happened over the last year. And so for me, I think even the fruit of a year later, seeing the impact of that is so powerful for me. Very much. I'm working on some other projects now because I'm ready.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us why you chose to do it on your website versus a Kickstarter. This is kind of just like a really specific question, but I know you did the pre-order on your website. Did you just find that to be easier? Like what was kind of guiding that decision?
Well, I knew that I had a lot of traffic on my website already.
Mhm.
And so I knew that almost everything else that I have in the world comes back to that website. So I have an Instagram account that flows back to like other things were already flowing back there.
Yeah.
So I felt that it would be easier and keep it and also just kind of keep it more central.
Mm-hmm.
I probably could have done I will say that I did look at a Kickstarter and I was like, oh, I could do this. This would be easy. I could do it this way.
Yeah.
And then I just decided not to.
Yeah. And that's great. We all have to go our own journeys, and your journey was the perfect journey for you. I absolutely love your product. It's been so inspiring. We've given it away to a couple women this week that are mamas. And there's a lot of people here that are mamas. I think there might be some questions in the chat for you, Bethany. I don't know if there are any. Let me just pop through. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're all just loving your stuff. This might be a bold last minute request, but I feel like as a warrior mama prayer, would you mind praying over everybody in the room?
Yes.
Is that okay? Just to pray over their dreams and where they're at right now. A lot of people are kind of on the fence or they've already jumped in and they're excited and, the trepidation of stepping into the unknown. So I would absolutely love to just have you pray over everybody, Bethany.
Yeah. Okay. Lord Jesus, first of all, we come to you and we sit with you and we acknowledge that you are high and lifted up and that you are worthy to be praised and that our lives are expressions of praise to you. And so what we do with our hands are expressions of worship to you. And God, we just ask that you will begin to, you see us all uniquely and individually, and you know us by name, and you call us to a path that is between you and us. And so I pray for each of these women that you will begin to speak into their lives and lead them in the way that they should go. That you will, though, as you promised in Isaiah 40:11, you will gently lead us. So God, I just pray that if women are making decisions about whether to join or not, that you will give them a boldness and an assurance that you are with them every step and that you are walking in this way with them. I pray for the ones who have already made decisions, and maybe even this morning they're like, oh no, what was I thinking? Oh God, I just pray that you will encourage their souls, that you will embolden them, that they will rise and sit before you and know that what they are doing is work unto you, and that they can trust that the process, you don't leave us, you don't forsake us. And so in that, we can rest. In the middle of the swirl, Lord, thank you that we can rest. Thank you that you promise us that just to take my yoke and learn from me, for I will give you rest. So God, I just pray for each of these women. I thank you. I can't wait to see what you do in each of their lives. I can't wait to rejoice and to be proud and to just be one of the people cheering them on. Because I also know, Lord, that you delight in us and you cheer us on. And so we just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. This one has been so beautiful. And I think, the best is yet to come, you guys. Truly, like the community of Print School, the heart in this community is so stinking beautiful. It's just amazing. So with that, just knowing how beautiful this community is, I do want to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I was not going to share this week. I'm going to just announce this really quick, Bethany. We are going to be doing a live event next year with people in Print School. We haven't decided the date yet. It probably won't just happen once. It'll happen more than once, but we're going to do an event for people when they have at least their sample in their hands. We're calling it the sampler event. We're not sure if it's a spring sampler or summer sampler, but it's happening. And it's going to be a time to get together, to hold our products, to pray over each other, and to talk about marketing and sales and growth and connect and talk about ways to build our businesses and spur each other on. And it's going to be live and in person. And I just have to share that because I know so many of us, we love these Zoom calls, and our community is very virtual, and we're having a beautiful virtual writing retreat coming up in October, but we're going to have a live event. It will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, just FYI. For those of you in Atlanta and in the surrounding areas, it'll be super convenient. Some people, maybe not as much, but we'll give you ample time ahead of time to find out about it. So, and prepare for it. But it's going to be so much fun. I just had to share that because this is just making me want to hug all of you in person. Oh, yeah. So I think there was one question. Bethany, how did you decide on your pricing? I saw that question back up here. Do you want to touch on that? And also any last words for the ladies here today?
Okay. How I decided on the pricing. I spent a lot of time looking at pricing, truthfully, because I just wasn't sure, and I just didn't see I didn't see anything else on the market like it. So I hunted around and I looked at what was sort of like it and what were they charging. And then I decided also, in truthfulness, I think that my product could bear a higher weight and probably will in the future in the next printing of it. But I also really wanted to, number one, get it into women's hands. And I think I have an interesting group of who would buy it is a mom. And oftentimes moms, so I have 8 kids and I have lived for 25 years with a mom mentality. And I will often buy expensive products for my children and will say no to those for myself. So I wanted to establish that this was a really good product for you personally, that you are worthy of spending this kind of money on yourself before I moved it to probably closer to what its value is. Does that make sense? So it was calculated. To me, it's a low price, and it will ultimately go a little higher in the next year or so in the next printing. But for right now, I'm very happy with the price, and it translates. Women feel very much like it's approachable. I think that's the other thing is you just want to think about who you're writing this to, and how they're going to think about themselves and their need and their desire for it.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bethany. I can't wait. We need to have a chat soon, a chit chat, and catch
Yes,
up just the two of us.
I love that.
I miss you.
I
So
know. It's gonna
fun.
be good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And y'all, yes, say say yes. You will love and feel very. I just think the biggest thing I just want to say real quick. I think the biggest thing is you will feel supported. And for me, I really needed that. I felt already that I was doing something bold by not going the traditional printing route. And so I knew I was then just felt like I was diving into the deep end and, you know, came up and it was an easy swim. So,
Yay. And when Bethany's talking about the traditional printing method, she was talking about going with a publisher because she could have.
yeah.
She could have
Mhm.
had a publisher that did this for her, but her big qualm with that, I remember our conversation a while back was I wanted it to be luxury. Like I want the linen, I want the good paper. And the publishers, these big publishers, they cut corners, you know what I mean? And they're not going to, especially if it's your first deal with them, they're not going to give you that luxury product. And that's what she did not want to compromise on. And I'm so glad you joined Print School. You've been such an inspiration. So beautiful. Okay, so I want to introduce you guys to Sarah. Hey, Sarah, you don't have to pray over all of us. We've already been prayed over.
Fantastic, but I would.
um,
They needed to.
yeah, I appreciate that. So I would love for you just to introduce yourself. I've shown off your collegiate planner. It's absolutely beautiful. I have two at my house. Um, so proud of you. So I would just love to hear more of your print school journey and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to hop on and chat with y'all. I when I got Polly's email about this, I was like, yes, let me tell you all the things. Because Print School 100% changed my journey when like creating this planner. So this planner has been in my brain for 5 years. And I couldn't really figure out what we were going to do. So I actually own an academic coaching practice for college students and saw that our students needed a tool that actually worked for them. If you go to most big box stores, the academic planners that you see there are just truly dated from August 1st to July 31st. And it may be like, oh, like the to-do list for the week, but it doesn't have anything actual like tangible things to teach students how to use executive functioning skills. And that's what we wanted to do is actually put all of that in of what we would do with our one-on-one service to provide students who don't need us every week. And so in the Collegiate Academic Planner, we start at the beginning of the semester with like, here's what we need to do for you. Like we literally give them a list of here's how to talk to your professor. Here's the things you need to pull off on your online portal. Midterm, it has everything they need to do to get ready for midterms. Meeting with their advisor. We literally give them a list of questions. Here's what to ask your advisor. And then in finals week, same thing. Here's how you're going to prepare for the end of the semester. And then at the back of it, my favorite part, and I tell Polly this all the time, is we actually have a how to email your professors because you would not believe how many students get so tripped up of like habit because they feel like their professors are like these big humans when they're just like other people. But we give them templates of like what to do as far as like, here's the questions to ask when you're struggling on this. And then there's study tips and all that kind of stuff. So it is from start to finish, August 1st to July 31st, truly for the college student. And then even on the weekly side of it, we, instead of just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we actually tell them what to do. So it's like Monday, homework and assignments, like test, readings, like we break it down for them so that they can see it. And Polly, I don't know, like you may be able to show it. I'm actually traveling and you guys, this is the very first time I haven't like brought a planner with me and since we printed it. But when we were doing it and printing it, I really got stuck with the next steps. And I know, Paul, you've probably talked about this week about finding a printer to get cost. And I was like just swimming. I was like, I don't know what to do. And I will tell you guys, the deals that you have this week for Print School, I did not get because I did not join. I joined like totally randomly found Polly through some friends. We actually graduated from the same university. And so that's how I found her and was able to like really dive in. And it changed the course of my printing journey and finalizing this planner. And 100%, had it not been for Polly, I don't know that we would have actually launched this year because I didn't know what to do. So I actually came in with a design already, but realized I did not know what to tell my designer that I needed, and was able to really use Polly's like templates and advice and walk step by step. So that's kind of what we did, why we created it. You probably can tell I have a passion for our college kids because I know they're going to be world changers and do amazing things. And I want them to be equipped to do that. And so that's where this all came out of. And we have some additional things, and it's on the website. I think somebody like, posted it in the chat, but I can also post that there. If you guys want to take a look at it, we do have a back to school sale going, but it's shopsarahlcowart.com. And it has just been an amazing journey, an amazing ride.
I'm so proud of you. It is so beautiful. I was just laughing because I have two of them. I just found my second one. She also created notepads. I'll spotlight and show because some people were like, show me, I want to see.
Yes.
So this is the notepad, which is super great. This is great to like tape up on your dorm room wall and have your schedule. I was just laughing because I opened up this and my kids sneak into my office and they're obsessed with all my colorful markers. So they go into mommy's drawer and then they draw on stuff. So
I love
one of my children, I'm going to guess my 2-year-old somehow got into the back of your planner. And
well, it's in the perfect page. That's the how to email your professor. So
yeah, then I was like, let me find the one that has not been ruined by my children and do it. So she's got all these resources in the back, and that's what's cool, right? Like we're not creating generic products. We're creating really beautiful products in Print School that have solutions that are unique, that, this is how to email your professor. Like, look at how detailed that is. Like, wouldn't that have been so nice to have when you were in college? We've also got time managing tips. Here, let's see. All the stuff in the back. How to take a test. Look at this. This is phenomenal.
it's literally everything that's in my brain that I tell kids. And, one thing that's probably very, very unique to this, and I think all of us who went through school, I wish we had had something, but we actually put in what we call a semester game plan. And we always talk to our students about, okay, we need to see the big picture because the first day of class, you get all your syllabi. And then we teach them how to put together a semester game plan in this so they can have a one glance shot at like what is actually happening in the semester and why they need to do that. So that's probably something you will not see anywhere. At least I hope not, since it was like in my head. But yes, Jenny, oh my gosh. Yes. As being a procrastinator, this is where when we look at executive functioning skills, how can we really make it user-friendly for those who are struggling with organization and prioritization and all of that. And so this is laid out. It's very clean. There's a lot of clean lines. There's not a lot of jumbled mess. You can kind of see even on some of the pages where there is a little bit of artwork, it's just quotes because we know our kids, they get so lost in the weeds. And then that procrastination sticks in and then they just don't do anything. And so this is kind of like what we've decided that is, we love it. And so we're actually starting, I was just thinking, Polly, I needed to email you because we obviously are on a different time schedule than most people who launch in January. And so because obviously it's August 1st. And so we are now starting to put together all the rest of our ideation for 25, 26. And so if anyone has it, or if you guys know students who have gotten the planner, we love feedback. So we would love to hear what everybody's thoughts are on it.
Woohoo! You are such an inspiration. Obviously, you're in a room full of planner lovers. So it has been well received for sure. And this is such a great gift if you guys have kiddos going to school. I saw there's some college professors in here.
Yes. Yes. And I think for those who are in higher ed, you kind of understand where we go and what we do. And so we actually took a big chance. And also we are licensed with most of all their sororities in Pan-National, Pan-Hellenic. And next year, that's part of our plan is growing the brand, is having those physical planners for our sorority friends. And then because we have digital versions right now, but actually having them where it's the logos things. And so we would love to be able to have licensing for other universities and be able to like drop those in college bookstores and all of that. And that's me dreaming really big because, that's what we do when we're in print school. We think about all these things that we can do.
I'm so excited you're already working on next one. So that's super fun. I'm going to start working on my next one not too long. So woohoo, congrats. And thanks for sharing.
I just want to answer this question. Sorry, Polly, but she just said, did anybody think about a digital component? And I will tell you guys that Polly actually talks about that in print school of like how you can, what kind of stuff you need to do. And you talk about designs for digital. And yes, we actually have that. So we have it in all of our covers, our digital version. For where people can use it on the iPad, even if they use certain type of apps like Notability or GoodNotes. And that actually was the feedback coming from our students. So our students said, could we actually have a digital version as well? And a lot of students, that's why we package it together so that they can get the physical version and the digital version to kind of move forward and do all that they need to do for that.
Yeah, seems like the youngins really like the digital. I don't get it.
Yes.
I mean, sure, but it's just, I still can't. Plus my children run off with my pen, the little pen that goes with the iPad all the time. Very fun. Cool. So thank you so much, Sarah. You're the best. So excited for you and for your launch, War Eagle, this is amazing. So I would love to introduce you guys to Shavonne. Shavonne, are you here? Shavonne?
Yeah. I am.
Hey, Shavonne. Hi. Hello.
Virtual hug.
Virtual hug. It's been too long. So I showed off your Getting Unstuck journal a few times this week.
Awesome.
Woohoo. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Shavonne. She is super inspiring. She actually did a Kickstarter. I think it was last October. A year ago, right?
End of the year. Yep. Almost
end of the year. Was that around Black Friday, actually, that you did it?
It was, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Black Friday. I kicked it off and I had the campaign for about a month. I think I let it run about 4 weeks. Yep. Through Black Friday. Yeah.
So I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Sure.
Share the heart behind your product. I've been showing it off quite a bit this week, and tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so my name is Shavonne. Vaughn, you'll see me on my handles, but I signed up for Print School with the first inception. I think that was back in 2022. And when I signed up, I did not have a plan for a product. I just took one of, I think, Polly, you were doing one of the intro free kind of, are you interested in printing something? Come check out this class. And so I signed up for that with the intentions actually of learning about greeting cards, because I had always had a dream to do greeting cards. But during that session, God just dropped it in my heart to create a journal for women who are walking through hard seasons, rough transitions, and just times of change. And it was relevant because I was walking through it. So I guess the Lord wanted me to share that with others. And once I took that class with Polly, the ideas just started downloading, and I saw the accessibility of creating a beautiful printed product without having startup cash. Like, I'm a single mom, I work, I don't have a side business. I never even really thought about having one, to be honest. But I think one of the jewels of partnering with Polly is that God she puts him at the forefront. And so I think when you lead with a business that way, he just has divine timing, divine ideas. So one thing I would say to any of you who are like feeling that nudge or feeling that like, I don't know, you're not sure. If you are feeling that nudge, like lean into it, because I think God shows up in the uncertain places. And if we trust him and walk with him to do a thing, he will bless it, and he will give you the provision. He'll give you the creativity, the vision. and the steps to take. And so that's kind of what happened with me with this journal. So I created a tool for people to what I call feel, heal, and move forward. And so what's in the journal, it's a loosely guided journal. It's not real super prescriptive, but there are options in there if you need something more guided. So I've got lots of prompts around processing. I have a feelings wheel in there so you can identify where you are right now. You know, when we're walking through hard seasons, it's really hard to just put language around where you are. So I have this feelings wheel in there that helps you identify that. And then I have lots of prayers and scriptures in the back that go with the feeling that you're feeling. If you're feeling anxiousness, I have scriptures about anxiety in there and a prayer for anxiety. If you're feeling happy and hopeful, I've got scriptures about that in there with prayers in that. So that's kind of the heart of the journal, is for people, not just women, because I do have some men who have gotten a journal. I think I'm gonna have to come up with a more male typical color outside of the bright blue that I have to get more, but it really is a tool for anyone kind of walking through seasons of change and transition. And so, yeah, I did the Kickstarter, which was, I had never even heard of a Kickstarter before I signed up for the class. And Polly walks you through the rooter to the tutor, as they used to say. Every detail in the modules are super personal. I mean, you'll feel like she's really with you, helping you through it. And so I launched that Kickstarter in the fall last year, and God just blessed it. Like, and I reached out to everybody, people I haven't talked to in years, any email, phone number, text, whoever I had. I was like, hey, I'm doing this. Will you sign up? Will you support? If you want support, if you can't support financially, can you send it to people who may want to be a part of it? And so my goal was 5,000. And in the first 3 days, we hit the goal. And then I set a stretch goal, and we hit the stretch goal within a week. And by the time the campaign closed, we had made double of what the intentional goal was, which totally blew me away, blew me out the water. And so that was my reminder that, yeah, the Lord told me to do that, and I was partnering with him in obedience, because I had fear, y'all. I was like, I don't know enough people. I don't know if I'm gonna get this. If I put myself out there, like, what are people gonna think or say? But it was just so well received. And then when people got it, they were blown away. So from the quality of it, right? And so when we talk about creating products with excellence and being intentional and not putting junk out there and not trying to rush through. Like, I took my time. It took me a year. I took a whole year with the program. I thought I was going to get it done in a few months, but that didn't happen. And I just had to rest and that the timing would be right. But people love the quality, the paper. I get comments about the paper alone. Um, and just the thought that went around what's inside. And so that's the part, it's been out for almost a year now. I officially put it on the market in January. And I haven't, to be honest, right? Like, this is a side thing for me. I haven't done a ton of marketing around it. So it's probably selling a little slower than others. The blessing is I have an evergreen, so a journal is not really seasonal and it doesn't really go out of style. So, once I get a little more capacity in my life, I'm going to try to put more energy around selling the rest of them. But yeah, I still get comments. I'm selling a couple, at least one a week, even without marketing. So that would suggest to me that word of mouth is working. and people, and I had my first repeat customer last week. So I did mine was a 90-day, it was a 90-day journal. So they're being used, which is encouraging. And people are always telling me randomly, like, hey, I'm using your journal. I really love it. It's really helpful. And so that encourages me. But yeah, that's kind of my journey. I feel like I talked a whole lot, and sorry.
It was so beautiful. No, keep going. You're amazing. I've been so blessed to get to watch your journey. It's been so inspiring, and there was so much fruit on the other side of your obedience.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. And I know people love your journal, and you did it. You did the steps, and
Yeah.
you took your time, and you partnered with one of our preferred designers, and
Mhm.
that really helped, I think, elevate the excellence as well. And their timing was perfect. I know we
Yeah.
all want things quickly. We want Amazon Prime speed, but we've got to take our time if we want things that are beautiful and
Yeah.
excellent. So thanks
Yeah.
for sharing. You're the best. We definitely
Absolutely.
need to do a little catch up as well.
We do. We need to connect.
Yes. Okay.
Continue on your journey, ladies. You guys can do it. God is with you. He gave you a good dream. And Polly is a wonderful ministry person, business boss lady to partner with. She truly is. So yeah.
Thank
Thanks, Polly, for inviting
Thank
me.
you. I appreciate you so much. We have a couple more fun people I want to introduce you to. We also have Brandi here. Is Brandi in the room? Brandi.
I'm here.
Yay. Hi,
Can you hear
Brandi.
me?
Yes. So Brandi is a newer Print School student newer compared to Shavonne, who was like OG. And so Brandi actually just finished her Kickstarter. Was it last month?
August 5th was the end of it.
Which was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Your Kickstarter was funded. Yay. I always am one of the first backers that you'll have on your Kickstarter or your pre-order
You were
campaign.
the first.
Yep, see, I love it. That's like, I try really hard to do that. So that's kind of my jam. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. So I wanted you guys to meet Brandi because she just did what Shavonne did. Shavonne did hers last, fall, winter, and Brandi just is fresh off the heels of a Kickstarter. So tell us a little bit about, we shared your story in the group earlier this week, your little testimony, but I'd love to hear what it was like launching your Kickstarter. What was your doubts and fears around it? And obviously introduce yourself, but I kind of love for you to tell that part of the story of when you launched it.
Like she said, my name is Brandi. The story of when I launched my Kickstarter is so cool. I was actually in my preacher's office talking to him about my planner and my plans for the Kickstarter. And then we were just running through some ideas of how to get it out to the church without, feeling salesy at church, which is never anything that I wanted to do. But then my alarm on my phone went off to tell me that it was time to push start on the Kickstarter. So we had a little happy dance, and he prayed for me right there before I pushed it. And I got to push start when I was in his office, and it was just a really cool experience. I felt God in the whole thing, like from the beginning of the Kickstarter all the way to the end. Like the doors that were opened up from this could only have been from God. So that was just a really super cool thing to be able to experience.
And you kind of had some interesting, I'd call it unconventional sales during the Kickstarter. I remember Brandi was reaching out and going, hey, I have some ladies at church that like don't know how to use Kickstarter and they just want to give me cash. What do I do? I'm like, take the cash, like let them
Yes, I have a
Venmo
whole
you,
list.
like,
Yeah.
just, we'll go old school Girl Scout cookies with this if we need to, take the cash and you don't have to put it into the fundraiser. You can just
keep that cash and give them the planner, you know? So that was a good problem to have. And I really commend you because not everyone would have the confidence to just go into their pastor's office or knock on the door, walk through the door. And you did. You walked through the door. And because of that, there was a blessing. And so we can't always get the blessings that we pray for unless we're also willing to walk through the door and to talk to people and to say, I've got a thing, you know what I mean? And that's like the common thread of what I see in the success of Print School students is people willing to get a little uncomfortable, to challenge themselves, to put it out there. And I remember when I was launching my my first planner, I wasn't living a Christian lifestyle. Like I was barely going back to church. I was going back to church, but I was not really walking on what you would call maybe the straight and narrow. And so I had a lot of trepidation too, just putting something out there that was unapologetically Christian. And so your story is just so beautiful in the sense of you walked through the door, you know, you showed up, you gave your 100, then God did what he can do and he blessed it so much. So sorry, I took over for your story, but it really has just been touching me. And I can't wait to have you on the podcast soon to share it on YouTube as well. But so tell us a little bit about your products. We can see it, or if you have it, or just tell us.
Have it. Have it right here is the Blessed Intentions Planner. It's more than just a planner. It's a hybrid. It's a 3-in-1. It has sermon note and a Bible study and the planner. And this idea came to me during the Print Your Thing challenge because I was wrestling with, should I do a devotional first? Should I do a planner first? I really want to do both, but I don't know how that I would work that out. But then somebody mentioned doing a hybrid of something, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So within this whole planner, there's every week you have a Bible study, a soap Bible study. And then also I'm a huge note taker. So sermon notes is important to me, a section for sermon notes. So you've got that big section there. And then this is your week.
Beautiful.
The whole week laid out there. And there's other little things throughout here. There's a section to write out your goals for the year. Oh, it goes this way. Sorry. This is just a fun thing that I like to do every year, a bucket list.
Ooh, the Dream Vacation Planner.
Vacation
Say more.
It's always fun to dream. So yeah, that's my planner.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. I think I bought 2, so I can't wait. I'm going to put it in the bookshelf with all my product grandbabies. These are like my grandbaby products. I'm so proud of you and your commitment and your focus and your boldness. So I just commend you for that. You are incredible. And I know we're all super inspired by your story. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Can I tell you one more thing that's just opened up for me? One more door?
Yes.
I've been asked to speak at our women's ministry meeting next week.
Yay!
And that is totally not my thing, but I prayed about it and God said, yes, you need to do it. So I'm going to do it.
There you go. Every time you do it, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. God will, open your mouth and the Holy Spirit will fill your words. So I'm so proud of you. Brandi, I'm going to have you pop your link in the chat.
Okay.
Feel free to drop like your website link or your Instagram or whatever makes sense for people to connect.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome. We have one last one today, and then we're going to open up for some questions. I wanted you guys to all hear Jenny's story. I know a lot of you guys have maybe talked to Jenny in the comments. Jenny was just an incredible. She was joking about how all these typing class has paid off because I'm sure you guys have hung out with Jenny. Jenny, are you here?
I'm here.
Yay. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so I want
everyone
to tell your story, Jenny. I'm going to spotlight you.
Yes, awesome. So yeah, my name is Jenny Fulford. I joined
at the end of January of this year. So actually there was a challenge, and I feel like I heard about the challenge like the last day of the challenge, and I watched the replays. I wasn't actually there. But yeah, there was like this prayer process. I'm someone who has always wanted to have a small business, but like had no entrepreneurial skills. You meet people that are like that, and they're like, I have this idea and this idea. And I was like, I have no ideas, but I still have this desire, you know? So every time that thought comes up, I don't know, I just pray about it, and it's like, maybe this will happen one day, you know? There's like 6 careers I would love to have at some point. So I was praying about it, and then like journaling about it. And then like I woke up the next morning at like 4 a.m. and had like the idea for the journal that I ended up creating, like clear in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first idea, you know? I'm getting chills. Yeah, so that was cool. But then I was like, is this from God? Should I do this? You know what I mean? And then how do I do this? I have no idea. And then that week I was researching like crazy, and I found Polly, and I like listened to a bunch of her stuff, and then listened to the challenge stuff. And yeah, I just felt like there was just a few series of events. It was just like, well, I have this thing. God gave me the idea. I found Polly. Seems like everything is connecting. Seems like a yes. And I also knew from Polly, from your content, that like I needed to say yes or no in order to have it for 2025. I needed to start very soon. So I had to choose quickly. So yeah, I took the leap and I joined Print School, and I feel like I watched all the videos in like a weekend. It's just like, it wasn't, there's actually a lot of videos I did not do it in a weekend, but I just like powered through. And yeah, so now I have a journal. So I had the Kickstarter in May. So I have 2 covers. I just want to show you the sleeve box. Comes in a sleeve box, but this is called the Name Your Year Journal, a prayerful word of the year companion journal. So the heart behind this really is, I don't know, I've been choosing a word of the year for 7 years through goal setting. And I was also like doing it with scrapbooking. But I was like, there's no journal version, and especially for Christians, because over time it became less about goals and more about learning how to hear God's voice. That's been a theme for my last decade. I like didn't grow up in a church that really emphasized the Holy Spirit in that way. And I've been learning about it. And I just have a heart for like, man, like more is possible for our relationships with God than we realize. And so I wanted people to have this who maybe like me felt a little bit like the advice was a little bit inaccessible. Just like, I don't know. Sometimes people advise me on how to hear God's voice. They're like, don't think about it. Just like close your eyes and like whatever thought comes to you. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, I'm not getting this. It's not working, you know? So I wanted this to be a gentle and accessible way for you to practice listening for God's voice about your life season, your unique life season. So the journal walks you through how to choose a word of the year. And then every month there's like a monthly planning for your relationship with God, like a 2-page spread. And then there is journaling pages. There's 5 journaling pages per month, so you don't have to do a ton of journaling. I think that's hard for me. Like I like journaling, but my stuff is also for people who would love to journal but are not in the habit, or it seems overwhelming. I have a page for gratitude. I have a page for taking notes on like podcasts and books you're reading, because sometimes God speaks to me through those. So taking notes here. And then every month you get like a creative faith-based prompt about your word of the year. That's different for every month. It's also undated, so you could start it in January, but you also start it on your birthday, or you can start it on the academic year, or yeah. So that's my journal, and I can't believe it exists.
Woohoo! So Jenny did a Kickstarter, right? Mm-hmm. So you did that in May. What was your goal?
I raised 5,600 Canadian, 5,676. So my goal was, which is like 4,000 American. It's conversion rate set. Yes.
That's amazing. And so you did the Kickstarter to fund the print, and then the print was ordered, and now it has just arrived into your warehouse 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And so I'm launching on October 8th. So the thought was we're going to start launching it so that my Kickstarter backers will get it the week of launch, so that if they share it on their social media, then people can go on my website.
Woohoo! Yes. Jenny, your story is amazing. Your product's amazing. Hold up the sleeve and the cover. I know some people were wanting to see that again.
Yes. So this is the sleeve box. The heart behind this is it's a tree ring. So every line of a tree ring represents a year. And so the idea being like, this is a year of hearing God's voice and digging into what he wants for you. My camera's not super great, but it's this like debossed into the cover. And then it highlights like, this is the year, and the tree ring. So
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I love like biblical allusions. I'm an English major. So there's also like I link a podcast on the biblical metaphor of trees. I find that funny. So
It's amazing. So much love. And we teach you how to do your packaging, your insert cards, how to put a QR code in your product, all that kind of fun stuff. So absolutely amazing. This is so fun. Okay, so we're going to open up the chat. Are there any questions? I definitely want to drop the link. Someone has said, where's the link for Print School earlier? So I'm going to drop that.
Can I
go
say
ahead.
one more thing about Print School? Sorry.
1000%.
Sorry, I know that there's not a ton of time, but I just want to share a little bit about how I decided to do Print School because I had to make the decision fast. And for me, I'm like, okay, I've decided that this journal is going to exist. So I know that some of you might not have, maybe you're toss up on whether or not you're going to do it. But I knew I was going to do it. And my choice was like, do I do it with Polly or do I do it alone? And I think that when you compare the price, I had to be honest with myself about how long it was going to take me to do myself. So I was like, I can do it this year with Polly, and she's going to answer all the questions I don't have. She's going to give me a printer. I'm going to have the guidance, which means like I'm going to have a product in a year. But I'm like, realistically, this is going to take me 6 months to a year, if not more, to answer all those questions myself. And so actually, I'm going to like tack another year onto my timeline. So that was actually part of the price thing that I was thinking about, like it doesn't feel like money, but actually it is money too, So and I was like, no brainer. And then literally every one of my questions has been answered, which is crazy because it's like, Polly, you've given us this course about how to print something. But you've basically also giving us business coaching. like every single question I've had, you've answered. And so like people go out and get their own separate business coaching. And so it's been like 110% worth it for me. So anyway, just throwing that out.
Thanks so much. That's good to know. People are asking for the link to your planner, Jenny. So let them know what your website's going to be once it's ready. It might not be ready just yet because I think she's going to be launching early October, which is super exciting.
Yes. So you can sign up for the email if you want to there. So I will drop links.
I'm so grateful for all of you guys and for your time this week. I'm going to run through this chat and continue to answer questions, and especially to all those that came in to tell your story. I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you, Bethany and Sarah and Shavonne and Brandy and Jenny. You guys are so inspirational. So I just want to give you like a really formal thank you. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring.
Did you love it? Oh, hearing those stories again literally makes me tear up. I'm so proud of each person that shared their story. I hope you learned something. Which one was your favorite? Tell me below. We're also going to drop the links to each of their stores if you want to go shop at their stores. But also, if you want to check out more of Print School stories and what people have created through my program, you can go to horacioprinting.com/alumni. This is a link where you can check out our alumni page and explore people that have pursued their dream and created their paper products. Check out their items, do some shopping, support small business. We love it. And again, I would love to invite you to our 5-day challenge coming up on February 10th, very soon. And it's going to be so much fun. It's really so special because this is where all these things get birthed. Like so many items. It's just, I can't wait to see what gets birthed from this particular time that we do it. We only plan to do this once a year. So this is the time to do it. Even if you can't attend live, you can get access to the replays, but you have to register. So make sure you go to horacioprinting.com/print. Get registered, get excited, and I cannot wait to hang out with you in a few days.